Hello, welcome to the latest episode of FPL Affairs, the podcast that discusses our 9-month-long love affair with FPL, including the ins and outs that keep us awake at night. In this video, FPL Weasel returns to share his team and thoughts on Game Week 35. We look at the admin awards, the good, the bad, and the ugly, who won what this week, and what myself and FPL master himself, Jack, has sent me via messages what we learnt over the weekend. Before we get started, please like this video, subscribe to our channel for all our existing content and what we have planned for the remainder of the season. Anyway, let's get cracking.
And there's Mo Salah. There goes Haaland. He's on his way again. He's hungry. He's scored. Ice cold precision from Palmer. Kayo Saka! That is a diamond of a goal!
Greetings, YouTubers, from me, Matt, aka the FPL Affairs veteran, bringing you our latest game week review. Game week 35. I will also be joined, sharing his thoughts and opinions again, by FPL Weasel. So, should we just get cracking? Okay, our Game Week 35 review, as promoted by Cole Palmer and Erling Haaland, two of our, spoiler alerts, lessons learnt from Game Week 35. But first of all, we'll get started with FPL Weasel bringing his review of his Game Week 35 team. So, Paul, what were your thoughts and what transfers did you make last week going into the game week?
My transfers are the only thing I got right this week. I took a -4 to go from Saar, who got 2 points, to Bowen, who got a fantastic 9 points. And I did Saka, who got 2 points, to Mbermo, who got 5 points. So I got 10 points from my two transfers from the original two players, who got 4 points. So I gained 6 points from my transfers in week 35. I had an awful game week this week. Raya only got 1 point. Milenkovic got 2 points. Muniz got 1 point. Gardefeld got 8 points with his 2 bonus points. Playing a back 3. Rogers got 3 points. Bowen, one of my transfers this week, got 9 points. And Bermo, my second transfer, got 5 points. Captain Salah, who only got 2 points for his fourth blank in 6 games. Watkins only got me 2 points. Mamouche only got 2 points. And Mateta also only got 2 points, playing in a 3-4-3 formation. And on my bench, I had Pope, who got 2 points. Odegaard got 8 points, who I thought was going to be benched. Digne only got a single point. And Hudson, who I said last week was going to get the worst points total in my whole team, got the second highest with 8 points. I had the worst game week of my season this year with 35 points after my -4. My safety score was 49 points. I had a game week rank of 7.5 million. My old rank was 114k, and now I've got up to 150k.
Yeah, I've feel your pain, Paul. There's been a few times earlier in the season where I had a game week rank of 7.5 million, and it is quite frustrating, particularly at times when there are such fine margins, whether that just be down captaincy or benching the wrong players, that could have changed it from a really bad red, as you said, to the flip side and it being a green of some magnitude. But yeah, 39 points, and then with the 4-point hit from your two transfers, giving you 35. Well, I guess if you look on the pro side, at least you made two transfers and they earned you some positive points and they didn't work out against. But similar side to mine. Should we get cracking and have a move on to mine? Okay, so I've got the same goalkeeping pairing as FPL Weasel with Martinez and Raya. I decided to, quite last minute, my decision really was, obviously got double Villa defence in Martinez and Konsa, who's on the bench, and Arsenal in Raya and Kivior. And it was very much weighing up, do I play double Arsenal, or do I play double Villa, or do I play one of each? And if I play one of each, do I go with Martinez and Kivior, or Raya and Konsa? And I decided to play Martinez and Kivior because I thought Martinez was probably more likely to get save points, and recently Kivior showed more attacking threat than Konsa. So that's why I went the combo I did, which was the right call because Raya got a single point. Konsa did get the clean sheet as well. I've got Konsa clean sheet on my bench, but then Martinez got the bonus points, so he got 3 points more than Konsa, so I got the 9 from him. Solitary point from Kiwior, since they conceded 2 to Bournemouth. Guardiola's clean sheet and 2 bonus, the 8 points from him. Munoz with his statutory blank, which includes yellow card generally as a thrown in. So the solitary point from him. What was also a sight I've never seen before on live FPL is how, because ownership with certain players was so high and captaincy was so diverse, you'll notice, those of you that can see on the screen, the next to Salah, Isak and Marmoush has got the little person with the hat and the giant magnifying glass emphasizing spy, if I haven't mentioned that before. And effectively that means that their ownership, including captaincy, takes them over 100%. So actually any returns that Salah, Isak and Marmoush got would have actually hurt my rank despite owning them, simply because I captained Mbermo instead. Thankfully, that decision paid off because Marmoush, to a degree, paid off because Marmoush and Salah both blanked. Isak, that was frustrating. Happy to watch as a Newcastle fan, obviously, getting an equaliser in the 80th, 88th, 89th minute via an Isak penalty. But I was surprised with that because, and the performance as well, to be fair, from Newcastle was quite reasonable. Certainly a lot better than our other performances at the Amex, because generally we're terrible down there. And Isak, prior to that penalty, had never scored against Brighton. So yeah, that's why I didn't captain him. I captained Mbermo instead. And Mbermo alongside Bowen, they were my 2 transfers in, removing Saka and Savinho, which paid off for me because Saka blanked, got 2 points. Savinho didn't get a single minute. So, yeah, captaining Mbermo and bringing in Bowen got me 19 points. Saka and Savinho only 2. So I definitely made the right call in taking a hit to make those 2 transfers. Rodgers clean sheet, and from other sources and looking at data, he was quite a high underachiever of the week. Missed some chances and could and should have, provided his teammates were better, of course, got more than just a single clean sheet. And then Mateta was very anonymous, almost, in the Palace Forest fixture, which was the final one. So yeah, 2 points from him, 2 from Marmoush, 9 from Isak, 3 from Rodgers, 9 from Bowen, as said, and I captained Mbermo for 10, which, taking a hit into account, gave me 52 points. My safety score was 49, so a small 3-point green arrow. meaning my rank rose from 148k, 36k, total points of 2,329, and my game week rank was, come the end of it, around 1.25 million. So yeah. Oh, and on my bench, Raya's 1.6 points from Konsa, 1 point from Bradley, and 2 points from Saar, which was a bit of a relief because, yeah, he was very close to getting some attacking returns. I think the Palace penalty, if Mitchell hadn't have been fouled, then it would have been a Saar assist. But I wasn't losing sleep over it, not quite. So, yeah. Paul, thoughts on my game week?
My thoughts on your team last week is that you did really well. We had 9 of the same starting 11 players, but you managed to beat me by 21 points by taking the captaincy off Salah, playing Martinez in goals and aspiring
Oh,
choice,
looks like we've
still
lost
going for your usual
Paul a
double
bit
Arsenal
there.
defence of Raya and
But
Kior.
thank you very much for your thoughts.
And
And yeah, it's great. No, I didn't notice that it was 9 players the same, but 21 points difference just because of a different goalkeeper and a different captaincy, largely. So, moving on to the Admins Cup Trophy Game Week 35, the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good, I'm going to start, is awarded to somebody who, and this was a tight call, and I've put it down to transfers. Yes, they were template transfers, and yes, other admin members made the same transfers. However, the reason I'm giving it to this person is because he was able to make the transfers without taking a hit. Consequently, it earned him 10 points gain from making those 2 free transfers. So the award goes to Mr. Mick Shannon for bringing in Mbomo and Bowen in place of Saar and Saka. Yeah, 14 points in and giving him a 10-point gain. The bad decision of the week, moving on, goes to somebody who, let's just say his benchings, he was lucky with one of his benching decisions because they came off the bench. But the more so I've awarded the bad decision is simply for playing a back four, deliberately playing a back four, not due to an auto sub, deliberately played it. 2 of them blanked. And those back four defenders, they weren't necessarily having the greatest of fixtures either. So the bad award goes to the FPL Affairs apprentice, Mr. Martin Murray. Yeah, Burn away to Brighton. Just no. Trent 0-pointer being substituted before the hour mark, having conceded 2 goals. So yeah, a 0-pointer from him. And then Mikolenko as well, conceding 2 goals and getting a booking. So 0 from him. And the ugly decision this week, sorry, Paul, but I'm going to have to give it to you for the pain felt with benching the wrong goalkeeper. Yeah, Paul and I have the same keepers. Yeah, he benched Raya. No, sorry. Yes, he benched Martinez and played Raya. Whereas I did it the opposite way around. Fine margins. So, sorry about that, Paul. So once again, the good award this week goes to Mr. Mick Shannon for your transfers in, free transfers in, so no hits. Mr. Martin Murray for choosing to play a back four, and the ugly, painful decision, not necessarily a bad one, may I point out. The ugly is more ones that's a frustrating decision rather than a terrible one. Bad is actually worse than the ugly, to be fair, with those, yeah. And the ugly going to FPL Weasel. Alrighty, moving on to our lessons learnt from game week 35, and we will start with Paul's lesson, I think. What did you learn, mate?
What I've learnt from week 35 is Salah is no longer the obvious captain choice for FPL, with slots saying rotation might happen, so he might even be dropped to the bench. And obviously he's blanked in 4 of the last 6 games, and I think there's much better players you can target as your captain in the last few weeks of the season. So I'm personally going to start targeting
Second thing
players who
learnt,
are playing against Spurs,
reverting
Manchester United
to
and Chelsea, who might rest players
the
while they're still in Europe,
thumbnail
and
on the
also
front.
target
I had Cole
players
Palmer,
who are
had Erling
playing
Haaland.
against teams
Reason
that
I
have
wanted to talk
been
about them,
relegated,
the
Leicester,
second thing I wanted to talk about
Ipswich
really was Cole Palmer
and
and Erling
Southampton.
Haaland. Cole Palmer, great performance against Liverpool, topped off with man of the match performance and the penalty. My concern is he completely back to his mojo, or was it because he was against the league champions? That we shall have to see, and he's got a tough fixture away to Newcastle, away to us in his next game. So I think really anyone who's considering getting Palmer back in would really have to watch that game to make a judgment call on whether he'll be in good enough form for home to Manchester United, and then the final game away to Nottingham Forest, which will be decisive, in my opinion, for Champions League places. So one thing's for sure, he will most definitely be a differential, just like Erling Haaland. Back on the bench in the last game, but got 0 minutes. And I think the cup final against Crystal Palace is likely to be top of the priority list. So therefore, starting against Southampton, I can't really see it. I think he'll come off the bench for minutes in this fixture, but more so to prep him for the cup final. I really don't think he'll start. With the cost he's going to take 2 transfers really to raise funds and juggle positions around, which for 3 game weeks is not enough worth restructuring or tearing your team apart just to get Erling Haaland in. So for me, if you were to get Haaland in, he would most definitely be highly differential, like Cole Palmer. So that was the second thing I wanted to talk about. And the last thing is what there's left to play for. So what clubs are likely to be on the beach and so on. So we know the relegation zone decided that Ipswich, Leicester and Southampton are going down. We know that Liverpool are champions. And we know that Manchester United and Tottenham basically don't give 2 hoots about the league anymore. That therefore means there's places, well, Arsenal's current form, they've potentially thrown away second at the moment. So there's the Champions League spots for second place, third, fourth and fifth. Europa League spot for position 6th and 7th spot. If Man City win the FA Cup, 7th spot is likely to go to the Europa League from the FA Cup position, and 8th spot will likely then go to 8th spot. The club that finishes in 8th will likely get Newcastle's already awarded Europa Conference League position, since Newcastle won the Carabao Cup. But if Newcastle finish in a higher ranked competition position, then the conference spot will go to whoever finishes in 8th, which we'll come on to in a moment. As for the race for the top 5, Arsenal, they may have a 3-point lead on Man City at the moment, but away to Liverpool, who are going to want to prove that they are the best team in the country. Newcastle, yes, it's at home, but Newcastle won at the Emirates earlier in the season, and Isak made their defence look schoolboy. So we shall see. Can he do it again? He's not getting as many chances as he was in that period, so we shall see. Manchester City have arguably got the easiest, or, well, least difficult fixtures, with Southampton away, Bournemouth at home, Forest away. Newcastle, Chelsea at home. With our current home form, I think if we win our home fixtures against Chelsea and Everton, then we won't necessarily need to get a result at the Emirates. If we lose that game, it won't be the be all and end all. Chelsea, they've definitely got the toughest two away games because they've got away to Newcastle and away to Forest, both of whom are competing for the top 5 spots. But how they do at Newcastle and how Manchester United are faring after reaching the Europa League final tonight. Chelsea may face Manchester United with heavily or minimally rotated, led through to the Europa League final, where they will face Tottenham. So congratulations to Tottenham as well. But the most bonkers thing is, after they've both had ridiculously poor cup competition, league performances this season, finishing lower mid-table, yet whoever wins that Europa League final will get a promotion to the Champions League for next season, meaning 5 English clubs playing in the Champions League, which just seems completely and utterly bonkers. But anyway, I've gone off the point of the race for the top 5. Forest have got possibly the easiest of all the fixtures, with Leicester at home in game week 36. West Ham away could be a lot harder, but then Forest aren't defending as well as they could be. So I really think the Forest playing at home to Chelsea in game week 38 is going to be crucial in deciding who finishes 5th, I suspect. Aston Villa, the outsiders really, or even though they do have Tottenham and Manchester United to play. So it's tricky, but points-wise, Arsenal on 67, Man City on 64, Newcastle and Chelsea both on 63, Forest 61, but on the worst form, and Villa on 60. So it's definitely going to go to the wire. We're so close and 9 points to play for. But looping back to what I initially said about what league positions gets what, 8th spot, you've got Bournemouth, Brentford, Brighton and Fulham separated by 2 points. They're not going to get up to 7th, but 2 points separate those two. So you'd say it's those 4 clubs battling it out for 8th spot, which is currently occupied by Bournemouth on 53 points, goal difference plus 13. Brentford, goal difference of plus 9, just a solitary point behind them, 52 points. Brighton also on 52 points, but their goal difference is plus 1. The worrying thing for Brighton is their goal difference is not as good as Fulham's, but close. But close. So that will come down to the wire. I looking at the fixtures, think it will be between Bournemouth and Brentford. I think Brighton have been too inconsistent and they've got some tough games on paper. And the same for Fulham. Finally, is an update on game week 37. We already know after the announcement last week that all fixtures will remain in 37, just that the Crystal Palace, Wolves and Manchester City, Bournemouth fixtures were being moved back from the Sunday to the Tuesday evening because of the FA Cup final on the Saturday. The one update since then, and since this image was taken actually, is the Aston Villa Tottenham fixture is being moved from the Sunday. It's being moved forward to the Friday evening, the same date as the Chelsea Manchester United game, but like that one, remained in game week 37. So if this video has been useful, helpful, then you will find us on x.com FPL Affairs, Facebook, just search the groups for FPL Affairs, YouTube channel at FPL Affairs, where you'll get all our existing content and what we have planned left between now and the end of the season. So yeah, like that, subscribe to the channel and click the bell notifications to be notified when we release the fresh content. But all that's left to say is thank you, Paul, FPL Weasel, for your thoughts, what you've learned, and he will be joining us again for the Game Week 36 preview released later today, which is Friday. So all that's left to say is keep your FPL affairs under wraps. Bye bye.